An album from two of the greats, Kid Cudi and Kanye West. Kids See Ghosts. Welcome, Luke Daly. How's it going, Luke?
I'm doing pretty good. I've heard this album a couple times, and I don't know, I have very mixed opinions about it. Like, there's some good, but to me, I see a lot more bad than good, and I
Okay.
just think it's kind of overrated.
So overall, what are your initial thoughts?
Well, I think that the album, like I said, the album as a whole isn't bad. There are a couple good songs. I like Cuddy Montage and Fire is pretty good.
Okay.
But the first song, Feel the Love, with Pusha T, when Kanye is just doing his ad libs, I don't know, I just get really annoyed, and I think it's it's this very obnoxious, and it sounds like something I'd hear in a Dr. Seuss book, and
Oh,
it's
I get
just,
that.
I don't know, it's just loud, and if anything, it kind of scares me from wanting to listen to the rest of the album.
I think I agree with that, but to counter that, I think that the yelling kind of fits the track as an intro good, because the loud and abrasiveness of the intro, it's really reminiscent to the stylistic choices that we've seen and heard on previous albums like Yeezus, because that intro on site was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And it really fits the stylistic.
You make a good point.
Yeah,
but
it's he's bringing back that experimental feel that he's had on the previous albums. He's kind of dabbling in that industrial, but on this, I think it's perfect because we start up kind of slow with Cuddy's chorus and Push's verse.
Yeah,
but then he
and
just
you get
punches
smacked
you in the
face.
with those ad libs. I think it's a great intro to
mean,
the sounds we're gonna hear on this album.
It could be
being
a good
loud.
intro, sure, but it's the thing is that it's not the intro. It's an intro in a sense that it's the first song of the album, but it's not the intro to the album. He just starts screaming and using random auto tunes, and I don't know, I'm just not a fan.
I think it's just a good representation of the kind of sounds that we're going to hear on this album, being,
Yeah.
loud, psychedelic, mystical, and experimental.
But that's the only loud song on the album. Everything else is pretty mellow, and it's Man on the Moon 1 type stuff.
It's true. Going into some other tracks like Fire and Fourth Dimension, I think he uses great samples
Yeah,
that nobody really
I
expected.
agree.
In
The
setting.
Kurt Cobain sampling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
We see that old Christmas music, by Louis Prima, and a
Yeah.
song about insanity when your girlfriend leaves you by Napoleon. I don't know, XIV.
Napoleon
Kanye
Dynamite.
definitely is a master at flipping samples
Yeah,
like this to
I'll,
fit the album.
I'll give him
perfectly.
that. The guy is a good producer, but I do think that he does think that he's a little bit better than what he actually is.
Definitely.
To me, I wouldn't go out of my way to listen to Twisted Fantasy, but I like Donda. Donda had a few pretty good songs, and I like Graduation as well.
Some of the best songs on this album are Reborn and Cuddy Montage, because they're amazingly introspective and they take this listener on a completely different journey than what you've experienced on other types of the albums. What do you think about these?
You said Fire and what, Reborn?
Reborn and Cuddy Montage.
I like Reborn. I feel like Reborn allows Cuddy to be himself.
Definitely.
Instead of kind of giving a singing kind of thing.
He's really good at that iconic humming.
Because with Reborn, I got a lot of flashbacks to Man on the Moon 1, and I really like that album. I think it's really good.
Yeah.
And to see him be able to do the same stuff that he can almost 10 years later after Man on the Moon came out, because that came out 2009.
Yeah.
Just to see that I think is really incredible, and that he hasn't lost his style.
Definitely.
But at the same time, Man on the Moon 3 was it was something.
I don't typically love Kanye's verses on some tracks, but definitely on this one, on these two, Reborn and Cuddy Montage, I think they fit perfectly.
The guy has rhymes. He can be
Yeah.
clever.
They're really deep and a little bit sad. He doesn't have a lot of lyricism, but there's some double entendres
he can
that
rhyme.
you can definitely hear. And as you said before about the Kurt Cobain sample, I think this sample is amazing. It's a demo tape it's a demo from his tape Montage of Heck, and it's just
I didn't
this
know that.
raw instrumental guitar that he did when he was in his room. Even you can hear, if you go on Spotify right now and listen to this track, Burn the Rain, you can hear at the end of the track him answering the phone. It's so raw. It's so
Yeah. I didn't know that.
real.
That's actually kinda cool.
It feels really good. I think it matches the vibes of this track really good.
I don't know. Back to Reborn and Fire. I just think that the whole album as a whole is really messy.
That's
Because I'm gonna compare it to Call Me If You Get Lost, whereas that album it starts off pretty hard, and then it drops off and goes kind of mellow with
Yeah.
whatever the second song is called.
Corso.
Yeah, and then it goes back up to Lemonhead, and then it just drops up, and then kind of goes mellow again, and then we have the songs with Uzi and Lil Wayne
definitely comparing, like you've got Hot Wind Blows and like Juggernaut, which are like more hard tracks, and then
Yeah.
you got like Manifesto and Massa, which are more like lyrical
Yeah,
and like
yeah, and I feel like that album like is it's a piece of art. Like I love it, and like it's pretty balanced when it comes to like soft and like really like exciting songs.
when you got such a long album
and
like
they
that.
they just like they fit together. Like I
Yeah.
can listen to that album like front to back, and like there's like the transitions between like the telephone conversations between like Tyler and like everybody else talking, and like the other ad libs and like the backstory. It's just fun. But with this, I just felt like things were like very like out of place and kind of messy. Like with like the ad libs, like I said from Kanye on like on Feel the Love. Like I remember like listening to that song and just like trying to like, if anything, like I was trying to like push through it just to say like I listened to like the whole album.
Huh.
But like yeah, and I just feel like it's very like out of place. Like that song, I would say it fits the album, but I feel like it shouldn't be like the first song. It should be like somewhere like between like the beginning, middle, and or just like the middle, or
That's fair.
even maybe have like a couple other songs that are like that could give you like the up and down smooth flow, like Call Me If You Get Lost.
I think especially considering how Kanye made 3 or 4, I think, albums in the summer of 2018, I think it's fair that it's a little bit messy, because it represents how much he kind of worked in the summer. And if you compare it to maybe the introspectiveness of his solo album Yay, or
Well, that came out like the same year, didn't it?
the same summer,
Oh.
and another album from this summer, Daytona by Pusha T, which is completely produced and written, well, not all written, but completely produced by Kanye. It's also very messy, and it's got those like it feels really raw. It feels like very emotional and very hard. Like this is raw Pusha. So I think that it really fits stylistically. If you listen to the other albums that he made in the same summer, you can definitely see where his headspace is. Yeah. So I think it is messy. I agree with you there, but it's definitely a stylistic choice. I think to have it be
I agree.
so raw.
I don't think he did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he just like threw the songs in. I think, in a sense, like he did do it, but I don't know. I'm just not a fan. Like,
Okay.
like I wouldn't go out of my way to like listen to it, but like,
I wish I could change your mind.
There are like a couple songs on that album that like I do like that I will add to my playlist, like Cuddy Montage or Fire, but like
Alright.
Feel the Love it's not for me. It's like I said, like that album, like the first song on the album, it kind of pushes me away.
All in all, in the end, I think Kids See Ghosts was really a great conclusion to Kanye's wild 2018 summer. And I think it featured some sounds that were both perfected and pioneered that both artists, Kanye and Cudi, will go on to and have used many times in their discography.
Yeah.
So if you listen to the angelic sounds, kind of like in Cudi Montage and Reborn, that can be found on Jesus King Donda, those gospel sounds.
I like Donda, it was pretty
Vocal
good.
sounds and rock influences that you can really hear on the first 2 installments of the Man on the Moon trilogy, and those loud, abrasive, experimental punches to the face that you can hear in Yeezus.
Yeah.
So I think this is a really good wrap up to that crazy summer that Kanye was making, and I think all in all, Kids See Ghosts, in my opinion, one of his best.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say that it's definitely like one of his best, but it's definitely like not one of his worst. That's definitely for sure.
All right. Well, thanks, Luke, for joining us today, and thank
Thanks,
you all for
thank
listening. This has been Kids Talk Ghost, an edition of the Discology podcast. Tune in next time. See ya.